Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Karen Lewis, and it is my joy to be here. I have a stack of notes for today's talk this deep. So it scares me a little bit. I'm going to stay over here and not look at them because that's a lot. It's a lot. I am so grateful to be here. I am so grateful that we are coming off that powerful talk that Reverend Leslie gave last week, where she talked to us about how wind is necessary for trees to grow roots deeper. Just by show of hand, how many have heard that talk or have seen it? Yes, and online? Okay, fair amount. So the gist really is, and we know this, and we have heard about this, that the more the wind is blowing, the tree is sending its roots deeper and wider. And then she did this wonderful thing where she compared us to the trees. What can we learn from that? Because we know in our own lifetimes, at least this is true for me, see if this is true for you, in times when the wind was blowing particularly hard in my face, those are the times when I grew personally, spiritually. Those were the times where I found that I could anchor into something that could hold me while I was weathering the storm. And so last week's talk was so inspirational. We heard from so many people that today I want to deepen into that. And I want to expand it into, okay, yes, we have our roots that we can grow down into, but is there something that we can hang on to? Is there something that we can hang on to? And then Tuesday morning, beloved Ron Owen sends me this story that one of my favorite authors, Mark Napo, has written, and it is about the aspen grove. Now, do you know that the aspen grove, and I believe we have a picture of one, although it looks like many individual trees, they have one root system. One root system. And this root system, which is amazing, if something happens to the aspen grove over here, there are nutrients sent over from over here to help out over there. And what does that remind us of? Us, yes. It reminds us of New Vision Center, right? We are individual. If we look around, we can see individual expressions of the divine. And underneath it, we are all part of the one. And so my talk today, Trust the Process, is about exactly that. How can we direct our roots and support our roots to help us weather the storm? Because there are a lot of storms raging right now. We have many individual storms, individuals in our community experiencing health challenges. Several are making their transitions. We have beloveds who are faced with difficult choices. And I was reminded all through this week how important it is for me to lean into you. And so I want to take a moment where we have this opportunity to lean into one another. And the way I want to do this is I'm just going to invite you to look around in a moment and connect with someone, maybe offer a smile. Nothing more. There's no words need to be exchanged. Those at home, I want to lean into you. And let's see who is on this journey with us. And let's just take a moment and look around. Offer a smile. Offer to be seen without masks, because we are part of this community. Understanding that if we find ourselves in a moment where we are challenged or very, very joyful, that we have something to give to another. Thank you for that. So that aspen grove, Mark Napo really asks us, what can we learn from that aspen grove? We all, I think, especially in this community, or if you are part of a community, we all are very good to reach out when things get really challenging. And Mark Napo asked us, how could we do this on a mundane Tuesday afternoon when life is just going, just flowing? How can we be reminded to perhaps send a text to someone? If someone walks through our mind, I believe it is that calling that happens. And how wonderful would it be that the moment that happens, we just pick up the phone and send a text. I was just thinking about you. Look at the clouds. Look at this tree that I just saw. Just that. We will never know how much those small connection points support another. We will never know. Now, what does it take, though? I do believe that for us to be able to do that, we have to be willing to open up and to trust. Trust is a big word. Trust is really a big word. One of my beloved colleagues, Reverend David Alt, is currently walking the Camino from Lisbon, Portugal, all the way to the Cathedral de Santiago de Compostela. In Galicia, northern Spain. Hundreds of miles. And so he is doing a video blog every day. And I don't know how many of you know this, but Europe is currently under a heat wave. Unrecorded temperatures. No air conditioning. Lots of people, I just talked to my family this morning, they're going to go to a hotel and just sit in the lobby so they can cool down a little bit. Yeah. So here's this beloved David Alt, and he is walking the Camino, and he is really inviting every day, he's inviting those who are following his path to contemplate with him whatever question he is taking on the journey with him. Now, Camino simply means road. And aren't we all on a road? Aren't we all on our individual path to something? And so, a couple of days ago, he said that they woke up and it was hot already. And he was reminded of this idea that the universe is really a friendly place. That's the Albert Einstein quote, right? That every man at some point makes the decision, is the universe a friendly place or a hostile place? We all have to make that decision for ourselves. Well, David Alt made the decision long ago that the universe is really a friendly place, that he is being supported wherever he goes, that he is being met with love, with welcoming energy, that whoever is there, the energy that is wherever he goes, is welcoming him into it. And he said, and that must be the same on this path, on this pilgrimage. And so he leaned into that. And of course, things happened. Somebody offered him a ride. They said, you know what, it's totally okay to take it easy on a day like this. Somebody was going to the next stop on their journey, and he said yes to taking a ride, to receiving a ride, to getting to his next place, and to take a couple of hours to rest. Now, why am I telling you this? I think do we have a slide where we see David? There he is, heated, a little warm in those magnificent sunflower seeds in Portugal. When I was thinking about how can we deepen our roots, what came up for me is, yes, for sure, deepen our individual roots into the community, and also deepen our roots into tradition. Pilgrimages have been a tradition for hundreds of years, thousands of years. People have gone on a road to some destination to meet the God of their own understanding on that path. Often, it doesn't have the luxuries we like to have in everyday life, right? The indoor plumbing and the conveniences. And yet, those are the moments where we are invited to lean in deeper into that which is greater than we are, that is always there. And tradition and ritual is a way of doing that. So we can deepen our roots into community. We can deepen our roots into tradition. And the third thing I thought we can deepen our roots into is wisdom. This wisdom teaching, the science of mind that has been passed down to us, that we find ourselves. As you know, the New Vision Center is a Center for Spiritual Living, and we teach the science of mind here. Now, as you heard on Tuesday, we're starting a new foundational class. And I checked, not everybody signed up for it. So I decided, well, let's bring part of the class to us here on Sunday morning. In the pocket in front of you, or on seats next to you, for those who are in the front row, you will find something that looks, I should have had one. Oh, I found it, I got it. It looks like this. So, this is what we're going to look. Oh, great. Thank you, Karen, for getting that. And could you give a couple? Where is a chair available? Can you share those with the people in the back, please? So everybody has it. Those at home, you have it on your computer. So we're going to spend some time with this particular thing. You know that the basis of our entire teaching is that there is one power, one God, one presence, one infinite intelligence, one everything. Now, it's really hard to put that on a piece of paper. So that's why we came up with a circle. We understand that this is a circle whose circumference is nowhere, and whose center is everywhere. Let me say that again. This circle that represents the allness of life, its circumference is nowhere, meaning it is infinite. And its center is everywhere. That means right where you are sitting, right where you're standing, right where you're walking. That is the center of the allness of life. Let's breathe that in. Because that, beloveds, is the fundamental truth. Not only of this teaching, I believe that it is a fundamental truth. And yet, that is not something someone can teach to us. We can hear it, we can lean into someone who believes that. But for you to live your life from that place, you have to accept it deep within. Not to please anybody, not to get an A in a class, but rather to feel deep within. That is what I believe. These classes, these talks on Sunday mornings, we do our best to show you this concept from different ways. But at the end of the day, it's really up to you. It is up to you. It is done to you. It is done to me, as I believe. And so to the degree of which you believe that, that is what changes our mind. So let's have a look at this circle. And you notice there on the top it says objective. The objective mind is sometimes also called the conscious mind. This is where we make choices. This is where we choose what to wear, how to brush our hair, where to go in the morning. That is the choice that you made to be here, to turn on your computer, to be present. That is the choice, how you feel about sitting where you're sitting, if you like it or don't. All of those choices are done within you. No outside forces has any impact on the choices that you make. Now, does it go like this? I make a choice, pause, 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 and then I make another choice. No, no. That part of us that is the objective has been busy those 10 minutes while I've been speaking and has made hundreds of choices. What do you think about this? Did you like the picture? Who's David Alt? What was he doing? Blah, 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 right? That's what happens. We make constant choices. Do I like that? Do I not like that? Am I interested in this? Constantly. This is where you says, yes, we are. That is the part that is the one that makes these choices. So now, what happens with that choice? So we made a choice. Do you see the error? That choice goes directly into the subjective. And I like to think about the subjective as the willing servant. The subjective mind, that part, is the one that just says, okay, okay. So in the objective, if we made the choice that this is not a friendly place, that the universe itself is not friendly, I'm not safe, that thought, that choice gets dropped into the subjective, and then what does the subjective do with it? It says, oh, okay, okay. And we can draw another error from the subjective into the form, because all the subjective is doing is creating situations that confirm exactly what we put into that. Yeah. Right? That's what happens. So then, if I put in the thought that I'm not safe here, then that drops into the subjective, and then I connect with, with information that makes me be right. Oh, I'm not safe because there's somebody, I can't even see who that is back there. Or people are laughing, do I have something between my teeth? Or whatever, right? That is how life works. But what do? We look at the form, at the conditions in our lives, and we start being angry or rage against them. Instead of understanding, I'm the one. I am the one that chose it. And of course, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to choose to break my leg today. Nobody does that. So that is why classes and coming together in this wisdom teaching is so important, for us to go beyond that surface understanding and really understanding what is that deeper belief that is still within me that I haven't discovered that is causing this to happen. That, beloveds, is the work. That is the work. Often, I don't know if you have noticed that, but we have a tendency to create situations over and over and over. Has it ever happened to somebody? Yeah, we create these situations over and over. Well, why might that be? Well, we have this wonderful quote by Dr. Ernest Holmes that points us into the direction, and he says, we cannot make affirmations for 15 minutes and spend the other 23 hours and 45 minutes denying the thing we have affirmed and obtain the results we seek. So what happens when we do that? Well, if we are so focused on the form part, right? If we are so focused on what is happening in our lives, and then we choose based upon the results that we are seeing, we are in a rut. If I see that my bank account is always at this low number, then maybe I choose the thought, I'm poor. Because look, instead of anchoring into, I live in a divinely guided, directed, and abundant universe, and I choose to bring forth the richness that is mine, the wealth that is mine to have. Never mind the form. Now, this changing of our entire belief system does not happen if we come to a center on Sunday mornings every once in a while or even every Sunday. It takes work throughout the week. And so I want to offer you some affirmations to take with you so that we can expand of those 15 minutes a day and rather change the way we live our lives. And so if you're willing, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. I ask beloved Mark to underscore these words of truth. As we're breathing into our heart space, it is here where we connect with the quality of trust. Just breathe in here and feel how the quality of trust feels to you. And as we connect with that deep knowingness, with that trust, with the feeling that, yes, I live in a safe and friendly universe, As we connect with our inner light, we connect with our choice. We become first cause in our own experience. It is then that we experience the more powerful aspect of our authentic self and our spiritual nature. As we just breathe into this space here, as we take the time, it is then that we find ourselves open to more effective responses and answers to whatever is ahead of us. It is then that we know with certainty that there's something within us which is greater than anything facing us. It is then that we expand and transcend. It is then that we can open up to a limitless storehouse of opportunity and possibility. Becoming aware of our choices, it is then that we become healers and peacemakers and the beings that we were designed to become. It is then that we understand the eternal truth. God and I are one. And so let's take a breath, come back into this room, come back to wherever you find yourself. Beloveds, that is what I'm talking about. We need to have this experience of how does trust feel within me? And to the degree that we are willing to allow ourselves to feel that, we are then able to open up on the outside, meeting another, meeting the world. And so the invitation for this week particularly is threefold. Just what we talked about. Where am I called to deepen into community? Where am I called to send my roots down into a system that is already established, that in those moments when something happens and I don't know where to turn, I know exactly where to turn. To the people, to the organization, to the beloveds that will hold me. Gather. Invite someone out. Connect. Send a text. Pick up the phone. Establish those connections. And then the second one, lean into tradition. Perhaps it's yours to walk the Camino. I'm thinking about it. I'm really, really inspired. I wouldn't do the 300 kilometers, so 100 is enough for me. But find what is your tradition. Perhaps it's one of our Taizé services where we anchor into traditions that have been cultivated for hundreds of years. It doesn't matter what it is, find yours. And then the third one, lean into wisdom. Lean into wisdom. Find what resonates with you. Dr. Ernest Holmes always said, the goal is not that everybody becomes a religious scientist. The goal is that you understand this way of living and then take it into your faith tradition. He always said this teaching can make a Jew a better Jew and a Christian a better Christian. Know that your individual path is just that. It is your path. We are here. We want to support you. We want to love on you. We want to encourage you. We want to offer you the tools as much as we can. And at the end of the day, it is your choice. That is why this is such an empowering teaching. I am so grateful you have said yes to being here today, to be with us, because I need you on this journey. And so it is. And so with that, let's do what we are all called to do, and that is to anchor this truth with a short prayer. I invite the practitioners of this teaching, the practitioners in training, the ministers, to just rise. As we hold this consciousness together, as we understand that there's only truly one consciousness, and we have individual access into it. And so I proclaim love, peace, harmony, and joy for each and every one of us as we step into the realization that we are the divine made manifest, that we are spirit in form. And as we breathe into this space, we take a moment and send blessings to all the beloveds who are suffering at the moment, to all the beloveds who are facing challenges. We just uplift within us each person that has placed their name into our ministry of prayer, knowing that there is a power greater than we are in the universe, and we can use it. And so we use it on the behalves of those beloveds who are asking for it. And so it is with a grateful heart, with so much love, I just place this word into universal law, into the law that always says yes. Yes, my beloveds, it is already done. I let it go. I let it be. We know this truth together as we say, and so it is. Amen.